So I went up on the stage, and Cy Feuer, Ernie Martin, Frank Lesser, and Abe Burrows sat in the audience, and I did the lament. A little voice in the audience said, Iva, do it in Vivian's key. Can't do that. Why? I'll become a soprano. Try it. So Billy started tone higher. It immediately became, I did it on purpose. So keep it in your key. The job is yours.
Times were easier then.
So then I asked Ira Bernstein, I said, please tell me the name of the pianist, because I would like to send him a thank you note. I said, who is he? He said, he's Louis Armstrong's pianist. What's he doing in the pit? He said, well, Louis isn't busy this year, so he's doing our pit. I had the most brilliant pianist in the world accompany me for my audition. That's how I got the part.
Was Peter the dance captain by any chance?
Yes, Peter was the dance captain, and I had to learn the Take Back Your Mink number and the Bushel and a Peck and all the movements in the show. And Peter worked with me and taught me everything in the Variety Art Studio.
No
we had a wonderful time.
Variety Art. Yeah.
He was also in the show.
And was he one of the best dancers ever?
Absolutely.
Just and those were good dancers too.
But his little lisp was the thing that was charming as Carol.
Was he ambitious? Did you have any idea that he was going to be a famous choreographer?
You just knew he would.
Oh, terrific.
You know how you know when you see a talent, you don't have to be told that person's talented.
Did you ever work with him again, or was that?
Yes, in the Unsinkable Molly Brown.
She has done everything.
I was a stand-up for Tammy.
And we did Redhead together, yeah. Bill, yeah.
And Redhead.
God.
But Molly Brown was my very favorite show. I loved it.
And you danced as well as you sang. God bless you.
I have a little story about Molly Brown.
One thing about Peter, he did that wonderful number in the movie and on Broadway. Belly up to the bar, boys. Better loosen your belts. Only drink when you're all alone or with somebody else. And then the very next scene is in Stars Shining on My Own Breast. Try to get you. I said, Peter, don't you know not to put a ballad after Belly Up? But it worked.
Tony, what's your story?
You know, we all talk about Peter's speech pattern, and in the second act, there's the Maxis. And
that was wonderful. Yeah.
And it's great. In the score, it says Mashish. the Maxis, they wrote it in the score the way he said it. Mashish. What's a Mashish? Molly Brown.
Oh, Molly Brown.
Yeah.
Tony, continue how your association
also.
with Peter.
My association. Well, we all was talking backstage, and everybody has the same story. We were all watching Peter Gennaro dancers on TV, you know, and I watched it every Wednesday night, and I wanted to be a Peter Gennaro dancer, and I came here, and you were very key into this. Because you were assisting Peter in Jimmy,
right.
And I had worked for Bill. So I think Bill kind of like said, look at that guy, you know. And anyway, so I got into Jimmy. And he gave me a lead part in a ballet that got cut. But he taught me so much. He was like, you know, we all talk about the joy and the fun, but he's the first person that I ever heard say, that's a rehearsal laugh. Isn't that good? You know, they're laughing. He said, no, that's all your friends laughing at you because they know you. And we have to find something that's going to work for the character and the audience. And I mean, he was smart, you know, he was not just fun. He was very wise in his decisions. I learned so much from him.
And I did too on Any Warbucks. He had a way of improving your performance without telling you were no good, and it was amazing. And I think one of the reasons he he was always there. If Jerry Robbins was in a bad mood, there was Peter. If Martin Charnin was in a bad mood, there was Peter. You could always go to him.
When I got to, later on I got to assistant in Irene, and we were out of town, and like, you know, we'd been doing it forever, and I was like, oh, dragging my butt in. And I looked at Peter and I said, Peter, don't you ever get tired, you know? And he's there in his little kerchief and all dressed up, he had an outfit every day. And he said, you ever too tired to dance? All right, there we go. That's it. That's it. You were talking.
You have to tell the first production meeting story. This is history.
Well, I don't know. He thinks this is funny, but it was a little weird.
Who were you with?
Marion Niles. Yay, Marion Niles. Who was a great friend of mine. We were born on the same day. So if I call you a sack of shit, that's why.
1919?
No, darling. A little later.
Not Peter. Not the same day. Peter.
Marion.
Peter was born in
1919.
I was born in 1917.
So you're older.
You're amazing.
But I didn't realize Peter was that old.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he was
He
youthful
was
all
so
the time.
young in everything he did.
Yes. Yes, the
He never
profound
got
thing.
tired.
Never. Yeah, never.
I did.
So you want me to tell the story real quick?
No. Take it your time.
We're going to have the first production meeting of Irene. So Marianne Niles is a second assistant, and I'm an assistant. If you knew Marianne, you know, she'd go like that, and everybody was on the floor. And so we're sitting around the table, and Peter's there, and he's wondering what's going to happen, you know. And then Harry Rigby was the producer, and so Harry was going, well, Raoul, you know, Raoul Pentebois, I don't like this outfit. And Raoul Pentebois would say, well, I see it in all these beautiful pastels. And then Hugh Wheeler had a TA, and he wrote the book. And so he said, well, we have to change that. And me and Marianne are looking at each other. And no one here talks right. There's not a person here that can speak. And Sir John Gielgud was the director at that time. He was gone with it. And he would hold his cigarette like this and talk, and it would burn down. And then he'd go, what do you think of that? And so we would take bets on left or right. I got $5 on right. I got $5. And what do you think of that? So, I mean, it was a trip. But Peter just sailed through, and even when times really were difficult, as they always are, you know, he'd just be that spirit going through it, you know, and bring everybody together. He always brought everybody together. You know?
And he was very supportive of your choreography stuff.
I mean, he got me my first big job, too, because when The Great Gatsby came around, the associate producer, was the same guy that was on Unsinkable Molly Brown. And so they asked Peter to stage the party scenes. Yeah, I don't want to do that. There's no numbers. There's no dancing, you know. And so he suggested me. Now, I was like 24, you know, and so they said, well, what does he know about period dancing, you know? And so I did a demonstration and got the job. So, you know, Peter gave me my credentials, you know. He gave me so much. He's the main influence in my life, is what I turned out to do.